What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Tim Sports Talk. And today, we got another episode of the Skins in the Game. We got J-Dubs in the house. How you doing today, J-Dubs?
I'm doing good. I understand now you stopped counting the episodes.
Yeah, I guess I haven't said it during the intro. That's funny. It's actually episode number 72, and actually 72 is going to be important for my What Do You Got, so... and actually, I'm glad you actually brought that up. But anyway, we're going to start every show. We're going to start the show like we do every show with the dad joke of the week.
And I always have to bow my head because everybody understands it's a dad joke.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. At least it does if you throw it hard enough.
At least it does if you throw it hard enough. There, I don't get it. Just kidding. Hey, well done. Well done. Awesome. 5 of you in the house
I would
already.
not go that far.
Appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Let's get those likes up. We're going to try to pace the show a little bit better today. All right? J-Dubs is getting mad at me because we're going like an hour and 45 minutes, and that's not what he signed up for. And it's not his fault. And I just get going, and then it's over. So
no, all I said for the listening audience, all I said is we spend, you always set up a good amount of subjects, and we spend like an overwhelming amount of time on the first half of the subjects, and then we're like scrambling to fit in the other ones.
Yeah,
so
and then we don't scramble. We just let the time go. So it's all good. But no, it's fun. Thanks for being here, AJ, and the Real Progress in Action, and the rest of you. All right, well, what do you got?
Okay, well, I've been reading and listening to many people claiming that Carson Wentz has to go, blah, 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 blah. And there's a lot of things he does that I can't argue against that thought. But so I looked at the stats, and I'm sure you know this. You probably know this. Carson Wentz is 5th in the league at yards gained through the first 5 games.
5th in the league. Okay.
Okay. You could probably guess who's first. Or pretty good, but anyway, he's got 1,390 yards through 5 games. The number 1 quarterback in the league has 1,651.
Mahomes?
No.
Or Allen?
Actually, yeah,
Allen?
Josh Allen. Yep.
Okay.
Mahomes only has 1,398 with he's 66.7 percentage completion. Carson Wentz is 62.9. The sacks are bad.
Yeah.
Interceptions. Matt Ryan's got more than him, but Josh Allen has 4. Carson Wentz has 6. Trying to look through the top 10. Actually, Matthew Stafford has 7 to 5 TDs.
Wait, hold on. How many? Who was number 1?
Josh Allen.
No. Sorry, in sacks.
Carson Wentz. Hold on. Carson Wentz has 20. Matt Ryan has 21. No one else in the top 10, and probably
so
through the rest.
That's an interesting stat because everybody's like, "Oh, Carson Wentz had a top 20 O line or top 5 O line when he was in the Colts. He's the one that made them look bad. He's the one that made the Colts look bad." Oh, well, Matt Ryan, who to my knowledge has never had a sack problem, comes there and now he has more sacks than Carson Wentz. Like, the offensive line for them, pass blocking wise, it's horrible. The only thing I'll say about the stats is, yes, Carson Wentz is definitely not our biggest problem. I think he does have times where he's a bad problem or a problem when we can look at the stats. But we have, sorry, I just turned some off. But yes, so the other thing is it is a little misleading with the stats because we have been behind, so we're trying to throw the ball. Like, we think about the Eagles game where we were just dismantled, but then they started throwing it to Terry, and Terry ended up with like 100 yards receiving towards the end of that game. But
yeah,
anyway.
I get it, and I see attempts wise, Carson Wentz is number 1 in the top 10. Would you care to guess who's number 2 in the top 10 with the most attempts?
The most attempts? I mean, is it Josh Allen?
Nope.
Most attempts. Cooper Rush. No, I'm just kidding. Who's number 2?
Tom Brady.
Oh, that's
Has,
actually not surprising at all because the Buccaneers pass a whole ton.
Yep.
But, all right, here we go. Here's my what do you got?
Okay.
So, we are on episode number 72, so I thought it'd be fun, to go ahead and look at Washington Redskins in 1972, and this is going to be the trivia this week, and I have it for you this time. So, it's questions based around 1972, okay? This was funny. What round was our first pick in the draft?
Well, first of all, in 1972, I was 8 years old. So, I'd say 25.
No. Not what pick in the first round. What round? Like, when was our first pick? Like, what round did we make our first pick in?
Oh, it has to be low. No, actually, it's probably high because in 72, it was the Over the Hill gang, and they weren't that good. So it had to be like the first round.
No. Oh, well, no, it's not the first round. The funny thing is we didn't even make our first pick because the Over the Hill gang, we traded away all of our picks, and our first pick wasn't even until round 8.
Wow. Okay.
We didn't draft somebody until round 8 with the Over the Hill gang. So that was we don't even have 8 rounds anymore in the NFL draft, but that was when we made our first selection in the draft. All right, what was our record that season? It was a 14-game season.
Oh, it had to be like 6-8.
Nope, we were good that year. We were 11-3, led the division.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. What Skins player actually won MVP? Do you have any idea?
72. I'd have to go with Sonny Jurgensen.
He was on the team. He didn't play. It was actually Billy Kilmer that was the starting quarterback, but he did not win MVP. He was tied for the leader in touchdown passes that year at 19, but Larry Brown was the MVP.
Oh, the running back. Yeah, he was good.
All right. And here's just 2 other things. I won't say this as a trivia thing, but Washington Redskins were the only sports team in D.C. in 1972. In 1971, the Senators left to go wherever they went, to Houston or something, or wherever the Senators left to.
Oh, and it was the Baltimore Bullets.
And then the Baltimore Bullets did not come until 1973. So Washington Redskins were the only team in the city.
Yeah, the Caps didn't exist then. So.
Yep. And the last thing was the 1972 season was the first season that we wore the Redskins logo on the helmet that we knew at the time, our old logo. So that the Redskins.
Because prior to that, it was the tomahawk or the spear with the feather, right?
And also I think when did Vince Lombardi come to town? Was this before or after? Lombardi made it the R because he wanted to be like the Green Bay Packers G.
Yeah, I think that was the 60s, but I could be wrong. I thought it was the late 60s was when.
Yeah, so there was the R, there was the spear, and there was the other one you said, the tomahawk, yes, or whatever. So yes. Anyway, so there you go. Who was the head coach in 72 of the team? The head coach was George Allen.
Yes. I could have answered that one.
Yeah. I didn't write that one down. So the trivia questions will be different every year. But I just thought that those were like the interesting ones. But we also went to the Super Bowl that year. I thought you knew that we lost to the undefeated Dolphins that year.
Yes.
We were the ones that lost to. We were the team that gave up the only undefeated season.
Nick Bonicani and what was the quarterback's name then? The quarterback. They held a bottle of champagne every year when the last team went undefeated. Mm-hmm. And I think the closest one was the Patriots when the Giants beat them in the Super Bowl to kill it. But Nick Bonicani always said they would keep a bottle of champagne chilled, so they would all get together every year when it wasn't undefeated, and it has not been duplicated yet.
Exactly. All right. Well, you ready to go around the NFL a little bit?
Well, I guess.
Well, I know you had a topic that you wanted to bring up around this time in the around the NFL.
Okay. I'm going to try to keep my comments objective,
Uh-huh.
but the NFL refs are an absolute joke. And what they did to the Redskins at Dallas, and yes, I call them the Redskins, sorry, but what they did to the Redskins against Dallas was ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
But I know the Tom Brady roughing the passer call was ridiculous. Monday night, a Kansas City Chiefs guy tackles Derek
Chris
Carr,
Jones. Yeah.
strips the ball from him, and actually, as he's landing on top of him, sticks his arm out like, I'm going to try not to smash him, but I got the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And they called it roughing the passer. Um, I I swear the NFL has got to get their head right because I'm all about safety. But when you start making calls like this and pass interference calls or lack thereof or defensive holding, it is becoming no, you know what? I'm not even going to say becoming. It's a joke. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but if you look at these games and where Vegas is on who's betting on who, more times than not, the calls benefit Vegas. Not saying it's purpose, not saying it's a conspiracy, but
Did you bet the Chiefs -7?
oh, I bet the Chiefs in the over, and they were up. They were up 30-23. Had the over. I had, and of course, Devontae Adams is a beat. I mean,
Yeah,
great
he's good.
receiver. But
Did you see him that he's now out, he has a lawsuit against him now?
Against him?
Yeah, he
No,
shoved
I did not hear that.
he shoved like a cameraman after the game.
Oh my God.
Like he was going to the locker room, and bad timing for the cameraman because the cameraman walked right in front of him, and he gave him a two-hand shove to the ground. Like it was not good at all. And the guy is now suing him, and he may even get suspended for it because it's one thing if you were startled. You know, I don't think that's his argument, but some people are making that argument. Oh, he was startled because he didn't see the guy coming, and all of a sudden he's in his face, and he was mad that they lost, so he shoved him to the ground because he didn't know who it was. But once you realize who it was, just some random bloke with a camera, once you help him up, if you didn't have ill will in the shove, but no, he just shoves him, stares him down, and walks by him to the locker room. Basically, to punk him for walking in front of him. And the guy's... So, I don't blame the guy for suing. I think he could have avoided the lawsuit if immediately he reached his hand out and picked him up.
Yeah. By the way, Bodhisattva, I agree. Just put flags on the quarterback, and if you quarterback, pull a flag out. But it's
we don't want to touch
ridiculous.
people. We don't want to touch anybody. Okay, so yeah, we can't play touch. It has to be flag, and then you have to only touch the flag. If you try to grab at their waist, illegal touching. Can't do that.
Right.
Well,
and the only thing, and just to your point about you don't blame the guy, I would say this: for the future, the NFL, any cameraman. Anybody that's on the field signs a waiver to say that I am in a position that I could possibly get hurt. And, he stepped in front of him. Wasn't like he was just standing there like whatever. And who knows what, and you're right, Devontae Adams, we can't know his intent.
Yeah.
But the guy stepped in front of him. He turned around, saw the guy, and pushed him out of his way. Like, who is he? But anyway.
How far could Dexter Manley spit? Bod wants me to answer. I have no idea. I don't know.
I say 8.5 feet.
8.5 feet. I went with 7. Let us know. I have no idea. I don't know the answer to this.
I don't know who
meme
keeps
out there. I have no idea.
I was going to say, I don't know who keeps track of the stat, but please
Yeah.
enlighten us.
I need article proof, cited. Yeah.
Can you go out on the field and measure a guy's spit?
15 yards.
Wow.
45 feet? What? 45 feet. I need it
believe you.
cited. No way. I believe you.
Well,
Oh,
and I
that was
don't
funny.
look. If he was making up a story, he wouldn't go with 15 yards. 10 yards or 8 yards would have been like, oh my god. So 15 yards has to be accurate.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's interesting. But just to put a bow on that Chris Jones thing, the only saving grace I think for the NFL was that the Chiefs won. If the Chiefs didn't win that game, I think it would have been pretty brutal after that call. Because that was at least a 6-point swing, if not a 10-point swing in that.
Oh,
game.
that was third down.
Yeah.
And he got the ball. And
it would have been a minute and 7 seconds left around the midfield.
Yeah.
It was bad.
And the guy they had in the booth, it's the ref guy. It wasn't, I don't think it was Pereira, but or what's his name? It was somebody else that they were like, yeah, that was kind of questionable. And I thought it was Chris Collinsworth. It was actually Troy Aikman. And he made a comment that, and I'm not a big Troy Aikman fan on announcing, but he made a comment. He goes, what are they supposed to do? Disappear? Like, they're falling down. He gets the ball, and he was like, what's he supposed to do? Just like vaporize into the air? Oh, but he got in trouble about taking the dresses off. Did you hear that?
Taking the dresses off.
Yeah, he was commenting about, he said, I hope.
Yeah. Troy Aikman got in trouble for that?
Yeah, he's been on social media, but he was basically saying that I hope the committee, the rules committee gets together and decides to take the dresses off. And of course, oh my God, in this day and age.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. Yeah, I can't do that. Hilarious. He sucked me. I bought into it. He said, he spit in an offensive player's face. I don't know. I'm spending way too much time on this. I don't see the 15-yard. I'm going to Control F this. Control F 15. Is it on this page? No. 45 feet. What's the name of this article? Flashback from Manly sneezes help skins. I think.
Oh, so it's Dexter Manley's claim. Yeah, I could sneeze for 15 yards.
He said Coy Manley. He says, I think I sneezed on him.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Saints had a broken on top 24-17 with the halftime, early fourth quarter, blah, blah, blah. Difficult uphill struggle for the Skins to pull this one out with the possession. After a third down incompletion, it appeared that Anderson would come into attempt a near automatic 37-yard field goal. New Orleans tackle Jim Dombrowski changed all of that, though, when he took a swing at Manley. Manley did not retaliate, and the dead ball made Anderson attempt a 52-yarder, which was partially blocked. As it turned out, Dombrowski was the one retaliating, as after the play, Manley spit in the offensive's face. He suckered me, and I bought into it, said Dombrowski. I think I may have sneezed on him.
All right.
Says Manley.
By the way, what up, Dubs?
What up, Dubs family? How's it going? Speaking of cameraman, MLB legend Randy Johnson is a photographer for the NFL. I don't think anyone should be pushing a 6'10" frame. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be tough. You mean put them on? This day and age, you mean put them on? Yeah.
Oh, about
women,
the dresses.
Yeah, women act more manlier these days, right? Is that the idea? All right, here we go. So, to finish up this around the NFL, so we are at the bottom of the NFC East. You have the Cowboys at 4-1. The Giants of all teams at 4-1. They survive the Packers on that Sunday morning game. The Cowboys defeat the Rams. The Rams look absolutely horrible now. And then Philly survives in Arizona with Arizona missing a field goal to move to 5-0. So that is where we sit as 1-4. The other teams that weren't supposed to be all that very good is now they're
3
killing
games
it
ahead
and
of
we're
us.
not. So
By the way, my
Yes.
pool, I had Green Bay against the Giants, and I was in first place 2 weeks ago with 34 points. I'm now down to 25.
oof. Yikes. Good luck. Good luck.
But ain't dead yet.
A lot can change, that's for sure. All right. Commanders versus Titans. Let's hop into this review. Do you think that Wentz should be benched anytime soon? That's a great question that we will get into here. So, what did you think about the game?
I thought they played well enough to win.
Mm-hmm.
I think the clock management in the last minute or a minute and a half with the challenge and the waiting 15 seconds to call a timeout was horrendous.
So apparently there was confusion whether he went out of bounds on that play. I have to go look at it again, but that's what Carson said in his press conference yesterday. So he was basically like that time ran off because Ron was expecting the clock to stop.
Okay, so call a timeout. Then if the clock stops, you get the timeout back.
Maybe not. I don't know how that works. Like if he just called
It
the
does.
timeout, would he say, yo, the clock was supposed to be stopped? I don't know. Like, it's interesting. So that's why they ended up having to call the timeout.
Sorry, Tim. I have seen it so many times where someone calls a timeout, then there was a stoppage of play, and they get the timeout back.
Right.
So maybe that. Now, granted, it's the Commanders, a la Redskins. Maybe they wouldn't have gotten the call, but I've seen it too many times for them.
And that would have been horrible to waste 2 timeouts down the stretch. But the challenge was horrible.
It was.
He had no chance of being successful. Absolutely 0.0%. He clearly dropped it. It's clear on evidence. Like, I don't know why. Did the NFL go away from using the confirmed language? Because they said that call stood. Or the call stands.
Well, in all honesty, they changed the rule, or all fairness, I should say, they changed the rule to where the ball could touch the ground, but if the receiver had possession of it and it didn't shift in his hands, it could have been a completion. Before, if it touched the ground at all, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So I thought, and I'm not saying he should have called the challenge, but I thought it was awfully close to him having his hands on the ball and it touched the ground and it didn't move. So maybe that's why they said it stood, because they didn't really have confirmation that the ball moved. Still think it was a bad challenge.
I just completely disagree, because the ball clearly moved from multiple angles to me. And I'm sure you're watching it at a bar where it's harder to see the TVs and whatnot. But it was...
What are you saying? I watch games at a bar?
I'm saying that you need glasses now at 58 years old and whatever. Just your eyes are going bad is what I'm saying there, J-Dubs. No,
I will say this. Rivera made that call out of stubbornness, or challenge out of stubbornness.
Yeah, because it was 3rd and 1. It's like, dude, we're going for it anyway. You didn't need to waste that challenge, which wasted the timeout, which then killed your opportunity to run the football inside the 2-yard line, which a lot of fans wanted them to do. Why didn't we just run the ball? Well, we may have had a chance to run the ball on 1st down, but that means you only get 2 shots at it. If you run the ball there, you're only going to have 2 shots at the end zone, because by the time you spike it, you run the play, you take at least 4-ish seconds, you get set up, you're probably only going to have 8 seconds left, so maybe you get 2 more shots.
Yeah, when it first down, it was 13 seconds left. Or
no, first down at 19 seconds.
Okay, 19.
Yeah.
But we talked about this. The defense knows you have to throw the ball. Spread the freaking offense. Put 4 receivers out wide. And I'm not saying it would have been any better, but they had everybody in the box.
Yeah.
And the defense had everybody in the box. Put 4 guys out or put 3 guys on this side and 1 guy on that side. Do something to spread the defense out, and they did not. And I do not fault Carson Wentz in that situation. He wanted 4 plays, and like you said in our conversation, he wanted 4 shots at it. So he was going to make quick throws, and it was like, throw it away, do this. I want 4 shots at it, and he threw an interception. So, you know what? Sue him. But the problem in this game was not Carson Wentz, period.
Yeah.
He had 300 and some yards. He had his highest yards total for the game. He's 5th in the league in yards. And everybody wants to bench him, and I get it. I like Taylor Heineke's heart. But Carson Wentz can throw the ball. His longest touchdown this year is 78 yards. Taylor Heineke doesn't have that ability. I'm not blaming it on Carson Wentz. I'm blaming it on the donkey coaching staff, to use your term.
Yeah, so there's definitely different plays that could have been called. I'm as far as spreading the ball out and just trying to isolate as best you can. But it's almost impossible to isolate a player when they're only rushing 2 guys. There's 9 guys going to be standing in the end zone. The only way you're gonna get a one-on-one maybe is if you throw a fade or like a back shoulder throw. Like that's it. Like so you're basically just calling a fade route here in that situation. And maybe they should have with Cole Turner. That's why you drafted him in the 5th round. He's a red zone threat. He's a big 6'5", 6'6" body. Yeah, he makes contested catches. This is what you brought him in for, and he wasn't even in the game. We had John Bates in the game. I'm not sure why Cole Turner was never in on this play, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. But to say this, I'll say this. Number 1, the first play, John Bates had an opportunity to be open as far as he found a gap in the zone. The one defender, the linebacker, was moving away towards the pylon. The other one was moving towards where Terry was running, and it was about a 7-yard window where John Bates was standing in it. And it looked like Carson Wentz was looking that way when he decided to throw it to the back of the end zone. Why not give your dude a chance? You can't ask for a bigger window in a red zone situation where they're dropping 8 or dropping 9, right? You're not going to get big windows.
Look, and again, I'm not saying Carson Wentz doesn't screw up.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that at all. He overthrows balls. He misses targets. I think a lot of I've seen on Monday night, I saw Patrick Mahomes miss a target, overthrow the ball, throw it in the wrong spot. Mm-hmm. That stuff happens. Mm-hmm. But you get 350 yards. What was his yardage gain? He's got 10 touchdowns.
359 yards.
Yeah.
Is what he had. Yeah.
So, oh my God, bench the guy because he messed up.
Yeah. And it's tough. It is really tough. I'm not ready to bench him. I want him benched as soon as we have 7 losses. If we end up with 7 losses at any point, unless it's like 6-7, like we made our way, we're clawing our way back, and we have a chance to squeeze into the playoffs. But if we were like 2-7 or 3-7, 4-7, just move on. Because at that point,
what's it? Riggo's Rag. I read that the Redskins took the lead, and in 2 plays they gave it back. That is not Carson Wentz. That is not Carson Wentz.
So frustrating that every time we took the lead, we just gave it right back.
Right.
It is
so blame that on Carson Wentz.
That is very frustrating. And yeah, unfortunately, we didn't do a good job of stopping Derrick Henry. That was one of my keys to victory last week. He had 28 carries, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But Tannehill also just made like so many clutch throws.
Yep.
In that game. It was so frustrating. Like you had where he was wrapped up and sacked. Some people said it should have been whistle blown for wrapped up.
I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. I was calling that. It was like if they would have slammed him to the ground, it would have been a penalty. But
yeah.
he was wrapped up. It should have been in the grasp, and it wasn't. Again, back to the refs being a joke. That's a different subject.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough no call there. And also the deep shot that you were talking about, the one that they scored really quickly, like a couple of plays later.
Yeah.
Like, Montez Sweat's arm is literally following Ryan Tannehill's arm as he's throwing the ball.
Yep.
Like, the hands are like this. Like, that's how close of a strip sack that was. Right? And it's so frustrating because Montez Sweat looked really good on the game, if we're being honest.
2 sacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sweat was a beast. And Bodhisattva, I know what you're saying. It's funny. Yeah, you're right. It's quarterback's fault. Especially when the defense lets a 2-play touchdown or 3-play touchdown, and as fast as they lost the lead, the defense gives it back to them. And I will say this, the bigger frustration for me is how staunch or stout our defense can be when we're behind. And as soon as we get in a good position where it's like, wow, we're in a good position, then the defense just becomes Swiss cheese and they slice us up and score. And like I said, they said as fast as we got the lead, they took it back because the defense just totally melted. So,
yeah. All right. So
a
couple of more things. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, Artie is right. Me and your brother, or my brother-in-law, your uncle, have talked about this.
Yeah.
That they do not roll out Carson Wentz. The 2 times I recall him rolling out, he got a first down. They do not roll him out. He's capable of doing that. No, they set him in the pocket as a freaking bowling pin. But go ahead.
Right. Joe Rocket, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it, bro. Says, I know you don't want to lose a chance, but would it have been better to take a delay penalty to increase throwing space? I don't think that's necessary. I think you're able to spread the ball or get proper spacing in other ways. The first play looked like it was designed to have the proper spacing. You had Curtis Samuel going to the right side of the end zone. You had Terry McLaurin coming to like the center right position coming across from the other side. You had John Bates coming for the center left position. And then you had Cam Sims, who looked like he was supposed to continue to run a deep out to get to the left of the end zone position. And then you had J.D. McKissick running a flat route to get to the pylon. So it looked like they tried to do the best spacing they could on the first play. Second play was not as great, but it did have a design to it that I didn't hate, which was that Dax Milne was running a delayed slant towards the goalpost. So that level. Then you had John Bates coming from the tight end position on the right, running to the center of the field and running to the right. So trying to draw out that linebacker and safety, move them away to the right. So Dax Milne was open in the back of the end zone and then you had J.D. McKissick come right to the goal line to try to bring the linebackers up to make them stand at the goal line, right? That was the design of the play. That was the purpose of the play. It looked clear to me because then you had Terry McLaurin out on the right side and Curtis Samuel out on the right side trying to draw as much attention as possible over there. Because everybody's like, why didn't we go to Terry? It's like, because Terry was getting it. There was the first play, Terry had 4 dudes chasing him. 4. They were not letting Terry beat us. And then the play that he got intercepted, literally he got absolutely pummeled by a linebacker. They just beelined it right. He beelined it right for him and just put his shoulder into him. He basically tackled him because it was within 2 yards. There was no way to get Terry the football. So, but that was the design of the play. Carson Wentz looked at Dax Milne. Carson Wentz does not throw it to Dax Milne. I don't know what else. Like, it's frustrating. If you call a play and the design works, Carson needs to throw the football.
Yeah.
Throw the ball. If Dax Milne drops it, or if Dax Milne is not tall enough to receive it or whatever, then we can start talking about personnel. Why was Dax Milne in the game? Why is that not Cam Sims? Why is that not Cole Turner? Why is that not, list other De'Ami Brown, who was having a good game? We could start complaining about those things. But if Carson never throws the football to him, then we can't complain about it. Right? Because we didn't even get to that point to where we can start complaining.
By the way, I was going to say Josh Dotson and Curtis Samuels have great hands.
Well, so Josh Dotson was not playing this game, but go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. You're right. But I'm just saying that they are keying on Terry McLaurin. There's no doubt about it. He got going a little bit in the second half, but that's because there's other receivers out there that have great hands and keep throwing. Look, if they're going to put two guys on Terry McLaurin, throw it to the other guy. Keep throwing it to the other guy. Keep throwing it to the other guy. Then they have to eventually rethink it. Then Terry's going to shine. But right now they are keying on McLaurin, and I don't think it's Carson Wentz's fault. They ain't believing in the other guys. So
yes. All right. So a couple other things on this thing. Did you see that William Jackson got benched?
Yes.
And William Jackson got benched, but then after the game, he said it's because he was having back spasms. But when Ron Rivera was asked, he said, we're just going to say he was taken out of the game.
Yeah.
Who do you believe on that? Was he benched because of back spasms, or do you think they benched him for performance?
Well, who's ever going to know?
That's why that's what you think.
Well, how was this performance on the field? Was it good?
No.
It was not. So you would have to say he was benched for performance. And what's he going to say? They ask him, what's he going to say? Yeah, I sucked and they put me on the bench. He was like, no, he tries to put a positive spin on it. So my opinion is he got benched for performance, but he's never going to say that.
Right. This is a good question on the last topic before I'm going to answer this as well with Will Jack. Is it possible that Wentz was told to get it to McKissick instead of read the field? I highly doubt it. I doubt it because of Scott Turner's mentality. He's usually a guy that talks about taking what the defense gives you. I don't think that... Is it possible? Yeah, but I think the possibility is pretty low on that play. I think that you have to throw it to the open guy. And open is a relative term. You're not going to find somebody standing somewhere 5 yards away from somebody in the goal line or in the end zone when you have 9 guys dropping into coverage or 8 guys.
Oh, and Carson Wentz drilled that ball in there, and the defender made a great jump on it.
Well, I think he was talking about the play before, but no, that was just a terrible decision or that was a terrible play call by Scott Turner. Scott Turner's play calling on that one was so stupid. It was just mind-bogglingly. There was no spacing. We literally put everybody in the middle. Not lined up. I'm talking about everybody was running to the middle. Like, we didn't attack the end zone on the right. We didn't attack the end zone on the left.
Yeah, everybody was packed in.
8 guys. They have 8 defenders circled in the middle of the field, and we have everybody running in there. It's a cluster F of people in there.
Couple questions. If we have first and goal with 30 seconds to go and a timeout, do we score?
Yes.
Secondly,
I think so anyway.
Where was Terry McLaurin grabbed? I thought it was in the end zone. Where they put the ball first.
Yeah. Why they put it on the 2 instead of the 1? Yeah, that's a good question.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He was grabbed at the goal line at best. It was not on the 2-yard line, and they put the ball back at 2. But I go back to coaching.
Yeah.
If they have 30 seconds and a timeout to run 4 plays, I think we have running options. We have a lot of different options, and Scott Turner can be creative.
Yeah.
I think him and Carson Wentz were like, we have to do 4 plays quick because we have less than 20 seconds and no timeouts.
Yeah.
So if Rivera doesn't call that stupid challenge and they don't let 15 seconds run off the clock, we have 30 seconds and a timeout and first and goal.
Yeah.
So
It
And
was
again,
a terrible that challenge definitely hurt. But
I know, but
yeah,
everybody wants, and I get it. Everybody's passionate. I appreciate that. But everybody wants to say that Carson Wentz makes bad decisions. Well, he does. By the way, Brett Favre, look at his record. He made bad decisions so many times and had
right.
multiple interception games, and yet he's a Hall of Famer because he would come back the next time and make a brilliant play. And
Yep.
Carson Wentz has the arm. I'm not saying he doesn't frustrate the hell out of me at times,
Yeah.
but everybody was like, bench Carson, bring in Taylor Heineke. How would it have been different in that last drive? Taylor Heineke would have been in the same position, and what, he's going to run it in? Because everybody's like, he can scramble. But I don't know.
Thank you for all the comments, Yager, as a Bears fan. We're going to talk about the Bears here in a few minutes, the Bears game specifically. But
The Bears.
staying on this one, the William Jackson being benched thing, going back to that real quick. The reason that Will Jack sucks is because we're playing him so far out of position. I literally went back and watched my video after we signed him and after my analysis of where I thought Will Jackson was. First of all, it's something as simple as I say he's a left side of the offense, right side of the defense player. Where do we put him? Left side of the defense, right side of the offense. Literally, Cincinnati solely put him on the opposite side of the field. So we're playing him on the opposite side of the field that he's used to. Next thing I said, he wants to get his hands on the receiver. He's a bigger guy with strong hands, and he wants to get his hands on the receiver to bump and run to move the defender away. What do? Play him 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 yards off the ball where he cannot get his hands on anybody, and he's out there feeling like a fish out of water. It's just not where he succeeds. We know where he succeeds. He's been the same player since he was drafted. This is not rocket science. This is not new. Just like Landon Collins is not a deep safety ever since he was drafted. Where did we put him? Deep safety. It wasn't until week 6 of year 2 for Ron Rivera for him to say, I view Landon Collins as a downhill box safety, like a
hybrid. Wasn't it a hybrid?
It's like, oh, thanks, you donk. What are you doing? Well. Yeah, like, well, I knew that the day we signed him. Like, this is not news. You didn't break news here, Ron Rivera. This is literally the scouting report coming out of Alabama. All right? So, and then the other things I said is that he can be handsy. He's going to get PIs. What do we see against Dallas? Handsy mother trucker that gets PIs with William Jackson. And then I said he could get beats on double moves. And what have we seen there? He'll get beat on double moves, especially when he's out in space. But you got like the corner post route that CeeDee Lamb met. He overcommitted to the corner. CeeDee Lamb beats him on the post. So I literally scouted this guy to a T. And I am a nobody with a YouTube channel that played D3 college football, and I played probably all of maybe 200 snaps in my college career. Like, I wasn't a star. I didn't play football growing up other than flag football. I've just been a fan of the game since real little. But like it's so frustrating to watch this coaching staff continue to put people and we're going to go, I'm going to transition to this. Is Ron Rivera and company on the hot seat? And did you hear his QB comments? Quarterback comments. Yes. So, Ron Rivera, quarterback, we'll touch on this. He did recover well, I think. He did apologize to Wentz, and he apologized to the team, so it seems like everybody's okay. But when Ron Rivera was asked, what's going on with the other teams? They're seeming to have quick success while you guys are not. What's the difference? And Ron Rivera goes on to say one word. Quarterback.
Quarterback. Which is hilarious because you got Daniel Jones that is struggling, and you got Cooper Rush for Dak Prescott. And he said, he was like, they build a team around a quarterback.
Sorry, we lost you a little bit. We build a team around a quarterback. You're really frozen. You're really frozen. Oh. Okay, sorry. We built a team around a quarterback?
No, he was saying that, sorry, apparently we froze up, but Ron Rivera said teams build around a quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, Cooper Rush, they have not built around because Dak got hurt. They built around Dak. Then Cooper Rush is not Dak Prescott. Arguably, he's better, but that's a different subject. And Daniel Jones has been doing nothing but struggling. So that's what made his. I mean, Jalen Hurts is what he is. He's great. But the other two quarterbacks in the division, one wasn't even supposed to be playing, and two struggles. So you're saying, oh, they built their team around a quarterback. Well, Dallas plugged and played and are doing pretty good.
True. I think Ron Rivera is on a deep hot seat right now. And I don't think that that's controversial to say. I think most fans feel the same way. But that comment was ridiculous. He did recover. It was absolutely ridiculous on face value. It should never have been said. It was ridiculous. But everybody sees what he's doing, playing everybody out of position. Everybody's so frustrated. Andrew Norwell is absolutely horrible. Why is he on the field? No, you cannot watch that game, watch Andrew Norwell's performance, and think that is anywhere close to good enough. The only reason we were able to get that deep pass to De'Ami Brown, remember that deep 75-yard touchdown or 74-yard touchdown, whatever it was, to De'Ami Brown? Yeah, the only reason is...
Oh, he got turned around.
Yeah, well, the only reason is for some reason the Titans forgot, oh, wait, we should be attacking Norwell. Norwell blocked nobody on that play. He didn't have to. He just backed up and, I think he helped the center for a second. And then the center took over on that one. He's just standing there.
Oh, he stood up. You talking about the one where he stood up and he got knocked on?
No. I'm talking about he didn't block anybody as in, nobody came around him. No, that one was horrible because that turned into a sack. And yeah, he got put on skates multiple times. He's terrible. There's one play in the run game where it's zone run to the left. All right, there's good spacing, obviously, at the start of the play because all the offensive linemen are lined up. You can see their helmets are roughly 3 yards apart-ish, 2.5 yards apart, something like that. Off hike, you see all the helmets going to the left, except for one. Guess who? Andrew frickin' Norwell is blocking up the hole, stopping Nick Martin from getting to his reach block, never getting up to the linebacker. And it's like, Norwell was garbage the whole time. Then he had a false start to help circumstances. He is so pathetically bad at football. And him and Trey Turner, whoever the scouting personnel was to go out and get those two are worth fireable offenses. They are pathetic at the game of football. And I had Jags United on my channel the first week, Jaguars fan, where Norwell came from. He goes, are you guys really okay with Norwell being your left guard? You guys are okay with that? And I'm like, I didn't know much about Norwell at the time. I didn't watch a lot of Jaguars games. I was like, I love John Matsko, our offensive line coach. I think he'll get everybody right. I believe in him. I trusted him, and I think it'll be good. I was wrong. Even John Matsko, who is a great offensive line coach, this is not a knock on him at all, can't make, a gourmet meal out of dog crap. He is literally be getting nothing as far as talent. Talentless is what we have on the offensive line, at least on the interior. Horrible. In the
words of Doc Walker, terrible.
Yeah. So Ron Rivera to me has to be on the hot seat. It's not even a question to me at this point. And I understand the only reason this guy keeps his job is, one, we start making a comeback now. We have to beat the Bears tomorrow, which we're going to talk about, but we have to beat the Bears tomorrow, and we got to start making a comeback and get to 500 in the next 3 games. I don't care who we're playing. The Giants just beat the Packers. We could beat the Packers. The Colts are not a very good team right now. We can beat the Colts.
The Packers are not right.
Yeah, and we can beat the Bears. I believe those are our next 3 games, if I remember correctly. Let me double check. We have Bears, Packers, Colts. Perfect.
Yeah,
Win those 3.
Jacksonville shut out the Colts.
Yeah, win those 3, and you'd save your job. And then we get to 4-4, and we can see where the rest of the season takes us. But I don't want to see more losses right now if you want to save your job. The other reason is because he's the face of the franchise right now with Dan Snyder going through what's it called, and it sucks that we're here because he is. It's very frustrating to watch. I can see the coach that only has 3 winning seasons on his record. I can see why. He is terrible at hiring. It's horrible.
I want to say one other thing. I am tired of Ron Rivera impersonating Jay Gruden.
Yeah.
How often do you see him stand on the sideline like this? That was Jay Gruden. And I said this to your uncle. The Seattle coach.
Pete Carroll.
Thank you. I just went complete. Pete Carroll, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Mike Tomlin.
Yep.
Although I ran into a guy that was from Pittsburgh this weekend, and he said Mike Tomlin sucks, but that's a different subject.
That is ridiculous. Whoever told you that is an absolute ding-dong. He literally has gone in the league for like 13 years and does not have a losing season to his record.
Yeah, but he's only won 2 playoff games.
That's fine, but
I'm just saying, this was a guy from Pennsylvania.
He has not only won 2 playoff games, he went all the way to a Super Bowl and won it.
Not since 2012.
Well, yes, exactly. So since then, only 2 playoff wins. Fine, but he has a Super Bowl win under his belt, and he has one losing season.
But the argument is that he rode the Super Bowl win off the previous coach, Mike. What's his name?
Bill Cowher.
Bill Cowher.
Yeah, and I understand that.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, okay, not to get on that tangent anymore, but he's
not
a bad coach.
Back to my point.
Yep.
You find when does Andy Reid? I'm going down the line. John Harbaugh. When do you see a coach? I've seen it on 2 coaches, Gruden and Rivera. I mean, it's like it's almost like a disinterest. It's like
they're just there to collect the paycheck.
I mean, I saw Sean McVay in the middle of his offense on one knee, had the whole offense around him and was telling them whatever he was telling them. And one guy went to say something and he put his hand out like, I'm not done yet. He was in the middle of players. You look, Pete Carroll. I just go down the line. You see Andy Reid talking to people. When have they ever shown a sideline picture of Ron Rivera talking to anybody?
Never. Not that I can see. Seriously, I don't remember.
I know. And this is what I'm saying. There's no fire. And look, God bless him. He beat cancer. I think it's possible that took the life out of him. Like, football doesn't matter that much. I'm living. Maybe I don't have to get that fired up.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think that's just what his personality is. He wants to be like more of a even keel guy in the public, because we also had that like back when he was in the Panthers, where because he was not a guy that you really heard of like cursing people out or going crazy on the sideline in Carolina, but you did have him when he was in the locker room thinking he was not being recorded, where he got into his guys' buns and was not afraid to speak his mind. Well,
and I remember
that's happening.
I remember the video of the practice where the guy, his brother, I want to say his brother got killed, and he got into some scrap on the practice field, and Ron Rivera came over and sat down with him and talked to him.
Yeah.
But I don't see that. And you're right. Maybe he's not a guy that does that on the game film or during the game, but I don't see any fire.
Yeah, it is, especially when you see all these other young coaches. Like, Sean McVay is a nice, even keel guy, but he on the sideline, he is pumped.
Yeah.
He's running up and down the sideline. He's showing emotion. Like, he really cares. Nick Sirianni, you have...
O'Connell, right? The other guy, the other Redskins guy. Yeah.
For the Vikings. I don't know. I haven't watched the Vikings game yet, so I don't know much about O'Connell as a head coach right now, but
I've
Matt
watched him on the
LaFleur,
sideline.
I've seen him getting out there and getting hyped over there in Green Bay. I've seen him on the sidelines flipping out on refs and whatnot.
And who is Tennessee's coach? He's
Mike
a young
Vrabel.
guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel. Yep, for sure. So that's why I want Youth as my next coach. But I think he should be on the hot seat. And I wouldn't mind if he got fired tomorrow. But we need to clean house because Martin Mayhew was a disaster when we hired him. Scott Turner was not very good when we hired him. I liked the Jack Del Rio hire at the time, but he is so stuck in his ways.
He's a dinosaur. Ron Rivera is a dinosaur. But to steal your uncle's term, they're dinosaurs. Get rid of them.
Yep. All right.
I would just say that one more thing. I would say this: get rid of Rivera and Del Rio before you bench Wentz.
Yes, unless we have 7 losses, and then I want Wentz bench because I don't want to give the Colts a second-round pick. That's why I want to bench him. By week 11, right, we need to be like at least 5-6, like making our way to come back. So that 5-6 would put us 4-2 in the last 6 weeks. We need to at least be there, or Wentz needs to be benched because we can't give up a second-round pick for this horrible player, and we got to see what we have in Sam Howell. So that's what I see. All right, let's hop into this Bears preview here. So let's look at our injury report right now. We got Jonathan Williams out, their fourth string running back now with B-Rob back. He is out of the game with a knee. Percy Butler is listed as out. Samuel Cosmi has been listed as out for the game. De'Ami Brown is questionable, so there's a reason that he was not in the game to end the game last week. He has a groin issue, according to this, which stinks. Logan Thomas is out. Jahan Dotson has been ruled out, and William Jackson has been ruled out with the back, so has been ruled out from Thursday's primetime contest against the Bears. So
wait, what's the story of Chase Young?
Chase Young will not be listed on the injury report until they activate him. So,
but I thought it was 5 weeks.
No, that was the earliest he could come back. It wasn't a guarantee at that point, but he's still nursing that knee back to health, and he is not ready to come back. So until he is actually activated, we will not hear anything about him on the injury
All right,
report.
I hope they show him at least 20 times on the sideline with his freaking big hair, pulling his hair back to spit, and just standing there looking impressive. Because I want to see his ass on the field.
Yep.
Or just don't show him. Or why is he even on the field? He's not like firing anybody up like last year with Heineke or the year before when he was running out on the field. Yeah. Heineke. I know. But it's like he just stands there and it's like, is he even in the game? It's an honest question. I haven't seen it.
Right. All right. So. Is this a make or break game?
Bodhisattva. We should just give him a skirt and pom-poms.
He's better at that than playing at the end.
Oh, that was good. You made me laugh, Scully.
AJ says he has seen him hype up the players on the sideline. I can believe that. He usually is a vocal leader for this team. I don't know. I've been kept up with my Chase Young lore as of late. I don't care until he's on the field. But promote Chase Young to head coach.
Yeah.
One thing about the Goose, we can at least expect him to be better. Will Jack, the 3, is what he is. Well, Will Jack is the baddest because we play him out of position, like I said earlier. But here we go. All right,
let's wrap
Is this a make or break game for the Skins?
Well, yeah, right up until they lose it, and then next week we're gonna say the same thing, right? And again, I keep referencing your uncle. If we lose to the Bears, then we might as well pack it in and just not show up. I mean, look, I think we were in the Detroit game up until a point, the Dallas game up until a point, and the Tennessee game to the final. So I think we could be in a different position than we are now. But if they don't kick the Bears' ass,
Yeah.
then I don't even care about a win. I want a fourth quarter. I'm able to sit back, pour a drink, and enjoy it. I don't want to, you know, a nail biter. Oh my God, it's right down to the last. They better be ahead by at least 10 points late in the fourth quarter where it's not even a question.
Right. So, I do think this is a make or break. I don't think Ron can recover from this. I think if honestly, I don't know if he will. I can't predict that he will because again, there's so many outside things from football right now that's saving Ron's job. If we lose to Chicago on Thursday night, he needs to be fired and we need to move on to somebody else and give the next coach 10 days to get ready for another game in week 7 and we move on with somebody else. But a 1-5 start this year when you've played teams like the Lions, when you've played teams like the Cowboys with no Dak Prescott, when you've played teams like the Bears, the Titans who have struggled.
Wait. Hold a second. The Titans, I agree with. But what is Dallas's record?
4-1.
And how many games has Dak Prescott played in?
1.
Okay. What is Detroit's record?
Like 2-3.
Okay. Jacksonville.
2-3.
So I'm just saying, we're not the only teams. You were like, oh, Detroit. I think Detroit's better than you think, but anyway,
they just
that's
got
not my point.
skunked by the Patriots this week, 29-0.
I know.
And I mean that's fine. Their offense is fine, but we got offered in that first half against a horrible that defense is so bad, so talentless in so many levels, and we couldn't do anything on offense. Like it is. Detroit's 1-4. Okay, so there you go. So yeah, literally Detroit is only win is us right now. So yeah, it only came against us. Yeah, exactly.
So I have to ask you a question. Sorry, quick question.
Yeah.
I understand the break part, but what is the make part? If we beat Chicago, I mean, are you talking about Ron Rivera's job? So it's like you get another week. If you win, you don't. Because it's not for the season. The break part, I agree. If we're 1-5, we're done. But if we're 2-4, I don't feel good about the
make part
playoffs.
would be a convincing win. A make part would be we finally put a game together against a bad team, and we win this game 33-7.
Okay.
And just manhandle. And it's like, okay, you know what? We've been unlucky with some penalties. We've been unlucky on some circumstantial situations, like, that crazy pass by Ryan Tannehill. Like, the game hasn't quite bounced our way yet, right?
Okay.
And things like that. And now we finally put a game together. And it doesn't mean that we're definitely going to now go ahead and go on a run, but at least it starts to show some life.
Okay. Yeah. And I get what you're saying, but here's my question. If we win 19-17 with a last-minute field goal to scramble to get a win, is that a make?
At least you save the locker. Like I like that the person said in here. At least you save the locker room for another week. But I it's just even a 19-7 win to me is pretty frustrating against this team. It really not like I like Justin Fields. He's young, but this is another team that doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of talent right now. Like,
well, and all I'm saying,
we need to win.
I agree. And to me, the make part is we're coasting through the fourth quarter and we're kneeling down the ball to end. If there is a last minute heroic thing by the Redskins to win this game, then it's not a make. It's like, okay, you just skated by one of the worst teams in the league. Well, we're one of the worst teams. Sorry. But you get my point. It's like make to me is, to your point, a dominant win fourth quarter, like I said, I'm able to sit back and enjoy the win. Like there's no question. If this is a nail biter, it's false hope.
I agree. I actually don't disagree with that for sure. All the Bears can do is run the ball, can't pass, can't stop the pass, have to sell out to stop the run. Well, there you go. We're about to get into the 5 keys.
By the
to
way, I
victory.
think we've been pretty good at that. Not Derrick Henry, which is a beast during the regular season. We talked about that, but I think we've done pretty good on the run. So
we have so far, and until last week. But yeah, up for the 2 games before that, we did do a pretty good job against the run. So
yep.
One thing that first off, first key to victory. And I'm going to say this every week until we get one. We haven't gotten one since the frickin' first game of the year. We literally have 1 forced turnover this entire year, and it came on a Hail Mary pass from Trevor Lawrence. We have 0 turnovers.
Well, for the record, they called back 2 against Dallas.
Yeah, well, one of them was a legit call. The other one wasn't, unfortunately, but still, the one of them was a legit call. I am so frustrated that we cannot scheme any sort of turnovers on this defense. You watch Dallas, they scheme turnovers. They put guys in position. You watch other teams, they scheme. Who was it? Was it Sunday night I watched a game? Who was the Sunday night game this last week? Why am I drawing a blank? It was the Bengals and Ravens. Yeah, the Ravens dropped back a defensive lineman right in the area that Joe Burrow wanted to throw the football, got the pick. They drew it up perfectly where it was tough for Joe Burrow to understand where the player was exactly, and we got the pick. We don't do any of that. We just have dudes running wide open. It's so easy to attack our defense, and we need to get a turnover or 2. I'm so frustrated by this. We have literally the next worst team has 3, which is not good. But we're the only one without even 3 turnovers. And again, our 1 only came on a Hail Mary pass. Like, you could hardly even really count that as a turnover. In a sense, we have 0 throughout the...
No, wait a minute. Hold on.
Game.
Early on, we got turnovers. We got turnovers against the Jaguars.
Only 1. It was the one to ice the game when Trevor Lawrence had to just chuck the ball downfield, and Montez Sweat was hitting him as he threw, and Derek Forrest was able to undercut that ball. That was it. We didn't get any other turnovers in that game. No forced fumbles, no interceptions. It's crazy. We're literally negative. Somehow we're not on the list as like the worst turnover differential.
It's a good point.
God, I hate my freaking nose. It's so annoying. Oh, sorry. Saints are -7. They have, -8. We are -7. We've given up 8 turnovers. The Saints have given up 13 turnovers, but they've gotten 5 on defense. But anyway, -7 in the turnover battle. Colts are -6, but again, they have 5 turnovers. Rams have 7 turnovers caused, and they're -5 in the turnover differential. So they've turned the ball over more, but we haven't gotten hardly any turnovers. The Raiders are the next lowest at 3, but they're only -2 in the differential. They've lost 5. We've lost 8. So our turnover differential is horrible. So that's number 1. Number 2, the Bears have something that we have historically struggled with a ton, and that is a very mobile quarterback. Justin Fields has to be contained. Okay? And he's at 50 something yards here, 47 yards here, whatever. He can move. This guy has legit speed. He could be arguably the fastest quarterback in the league with him and Lamar Jackson. Like, put them in a 40-yard dash, and these two would compete at a very high level. Got to contain Justin Fields. We don't want to let him scrambling looking like Mike Vick. What did Hurts do against us?
Yeah.
Well, Hurts actually did not get that many rushing yards. He killed us through the air. But we did a good job against the run against them. He ended up with 20 yards on 9 carries.
Yeah, they put a spy on him. And they got to do the same thing with this guy.
Yep, Jamin Davis has got to be on there as a spy. That'd be a great call there. We can't let him get out there. The next thing is their best player is David Montgomery. David Montgomery needs to be stopped to win this game. And he can get loose. This guy is extremely talented as a running back. He can easily go for over 100 yards, and he's explosive. He can catch the ball out of the backfield as well, but he can just absolutely destroy you on a defense. And I think he's the reason they won their 2 games is because they started handing it off to him, and he was successful. So David Montgomery is a guy that you got to contain. The fourth key to victory, we need to run the ball and run play action out of the play style that you run the ball. We don't need this stupid nonsense of we run the ball in one formation and then we play action out of a different formation. That doesn't make any sense. They're not afraid of the run if you don't ever run out of that formation. And they're not afraid of the play action if you never play action out of it. And it also will help with move the pocket like we've talked about with Carson Wentz. We got to run out of the formation. That's frustrating when watching on film.
I would just say this. Watching the game, Kansas City against Oakland, or Las Vegas, sorry. Watching their formations and how creative they were. Both sides. I mean, Andy Reid, we already know about, but the Raiders it was like, okay, this is creative. This is confusing me because to your point, I know when the Redskins are going to run the ball or when they're not going to run the ball. And I'm some scrub on my couch. Yeah. But you watch Kansas City or Oakland, or again, sorry, old school, that it's like, man, the defense really has no idea what they're doing. So I agree with your point, I guess is what I'm saying in very long-winded fashion.
Lastly, if this is not a game that you get Terry McLaurin the ball like 9 or 10 times for a $125 and a touchdown or 2, you're just not going to do it the rest of the year. You're just not going to do it. Scheme this dude open. We saw it last week against the Titans. When you got it into his hands, he makes things happen. He had one play where it was like a 2nd down and 12 where they threw it underneath, and he makes 2 guys miss and gets up to the sideline and gets the first down. Or maybe it was 2nd and 10 or something. Or the crazy catch over the middle of the field that Carson Wentz probably shouldn't have thrown, other than the fact that it was to Terry, where he is in super traffic, getting hit as he catches the ball, and it's like a 34-yard pass or whatever it was. Yeah, 34-yard long pass.
But I think that getting the ball to Terry starts with getting the ball to Curtis Samuels, or I know Dotson is out, but what's the other receiver? I'm drawing a blank right now.
Curtis Samuels, Dotson, De'Ami Brown, Cam Sims.
De'Ami Brown. He had 2 touchdowns, right?
Yep, on 2 catches. That one-hand catch. Yep.
So I think that teams are like, got to stop Terry, but fine, cover Terry. We're gonna spread the ball out there and make you pay here, and then
I don't like that. I don't like the excuse. I'm done with the excuse. I'm done with that stupid excuse. Not that stupid excuse. Sorry, not to say you're stupid, but I'm done with that. Scott
well, sorry, you already said it.
Okay. Cooper Kupp rather is the most double team player in the league, and he gets the ball consistently. Travis Kelce, literally, they are punishing Travis Kelce. The Raiders were. Their sole purpose was not to let him get the ball. He had 4 touchdowns.
Okay, how tall is Travis Kelce?
6'5" and a monster. But they're double team doesn't matter. But no, they're getting him open though as well. It's not just he's catching it over people. He's getting open
because they can't stop him at the line. Terry McLaurin is what, 5'11", 6 feet?
He's like 6'1.5" or something with 200 and some pounds.
Okay, so my only point is that Terry McLaurin, they can throw him off his route, then double cover him. Travis Kelce, they're not throwing him off his route. If they try to bring up a back to block him, he's going to waste them and still be on his route. So
Well,
you
he
can't
scored
compare
once
the two.
where literally the linebacker came and nearly knocked him to the ground. Like, he stumbled hard, and he still found a way to get in the end zone. But
Okay, and what if
it's
that
because Pat
linebacker...
Mahomes... The point is, Pat Mahomes is looking for his man. Carson Wentz needs to look for his freaking man. He is the man. You paid him $23.5 million. He is the second highest paid player on this football team behind Carson Wentz.
Okay.
Get him the football. And the excuses need to be out the freaking window. There's
So why
ways to
why
get your
didn't
best player the football.
Why didn't Kansas City throw the ball to Kelce every time?
Not saying that you have to give it to him every time, but this 2 targets in the first half is disgusting. It's disgusting.
No, I get that, but I think you missed my point. Is that you say that they can double team Kelce, they can put everybody on Kelce. If you threw to Kelce every time, he would not be successul. You gotta throw the defense off. And
yeah, of course. So I always talk about spreading the ball around. I'm not opposed to, I'm not saying you literally have to give him 10 targets and everybody else none. Like, no, I don't want. Like, if you throw the ball 20 times, 8 of them have to go to Terry. That leaves 12 for the rest. That's over 50% could go to the rest. But if you throw the ball 20 times in the air, 8 should be going to Terry, and it should be schemed open. Terry is just running down the field and running only like it's so frustrating to watch. But you're $24 million decoy. That's pretty much all he is. And there's ways to get your best player the football. Scott Turner's a doofus, and he doesn't know how to get him the football. Like, yeah, Stafford throws to Cooper a ton, and a defense knows it too. Like, yeah, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, after Amon-Ra Brown went down, now they're just feeding Josh Reynolds. A throwaway from the Rams. Didn't even want to be, I don't even know if he was drafted. A throwaway from the Rams. Now they're just feeding Josh Reynolds like 10 catches. After 5 catches, you think the defense would catch on? Doesn't matter. We're still scheming this dude open and getting him the football because he's the hot hand, right? And that's not even a super talented player.
Quarterback has time.
The quarterback will have time, but that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be all deep routes and whatnot. It's like, also, why isn't Terry running that deep post instead of on that play action? Like, Terry is just running a hitch, like a 15-yard hitch route, instead of him running that deep post to get open. Or not a hitch, sorry, a dig route. He's literally a distraction. He's the decoy. So it's...
By the way, I'm not defending Turner.
Yeah. We need to find ways to get him the stupid football. There's ways to do it, but all right. You want to do weekly picks and we'll end with Weddle?
All right, let me pull my picks up. Another week of not a good week because I picked KC. Mm-hmm. What did I get last week? Hold on. I have to see it.
What's up, everybody in the chat when he's looking for that? But that needs to work on scheming. Yep. What's up?
So I got 6 right.
Ouch.
Yeah, not good. Although the guy in first place only got 6 right too, so maybe I'm onto something.
Uh-oh.
All right, so Chicago is giving Washington 1.
Give me Chicago. I hate this team right now.
Well, I'm not betting on that, so.
Yeah.
All right, so San Francisco is at Atlanta, giving them 5.5.
San Francisco's at Atlanta, giving 5.5.
Yep.
Give me Atlanta.
Nah, I'm taking San Fran.
All right.
Cleveland's at home against New England, giving them 3.
New England.
I was with you right there. Cleveland is pissed me off enough. Green Bay's at home, giving the Jets 7.
Jets.
Yep. I agree. The Jets have been causing all kinds of pain in the league.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. All right. Indianapolis is at home, giving Jacksonville 2.
Indianapolis at home, giving Jacksonville 2. Indianapolis is giving Jacksonville 2? Give me Jacksonville.
Yep. I'm with you. Minnesota is in Miami, giving them 3.
Minnesota.
No, I'm going Miami. Minnesota's not that good.
Miami's on their third quarterback, though.
All right, you know what?
Well,
I'll switch it.
Tua might play. Subject to change. If Tua does get... No, wait. I think he's missing another week. I think Tua's... I don't think Tua's playing, and I think they're going on their third string. I'm giving them 2. I'm giving Minnesota.
All right, I'll go back to Minnesota. You make a good point. So Cincinnati is in New Orleans, giving them 2.
Cincinnati is giving who 2?
New Orleans.
New Orleans?
New Orleans.
Give me New Orleans. Give me they're in New Orleans?
Yeah.
Give me Cincinnati.
All right, I'm with you there. Baltimore is at the Giants, giving them 5.
Ew, give me the Giants.
Yeah, I'm all over the Giants. Baltimore is not that good this year.
I don't like the -5. If it was like -2.5, all right, give me the Ravens. But -5 is too many.
Yep, agreed. So Tampa Bay is in Pittsburgh, giving them 8.
Tampa Bay is in Pittsburgh, giving them 8.
In Pittsburgh, for the record, Pittsburgh's playing their rookie quarterback. Trubisky is benched, unless they change their mind.
8. I think that game stays within 8. I'll take Pittsburgh -8.
Yeah, I didn't like 8 either.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay is another one that's not playing up to their possibility or potential. So the Rams and Carolina, who just fired their coach, the Rams are at home, giving Carolina 10.5.
The Rams are at home, giving Carolina 10.5.
Yep.
No. I hate Carolina, though. And they just fired their coach. Give me Carolina.
Yeah. I think I agree there's a bump.
Yeah.
From so they're all right. Why is sorry, a lot of background windows starting to play music out of the blue. All right, so Arizona is in Seattle, giving them 3.
Yeah, Seattle.
Yep. Agreed. Buffalo is at Kansas City, giving them 3.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I don't think Kansas City is. I know they just scored 31 points, but I don't think they're right. I mean,
Yeah.
I wish we could be not right with that record, but anyway, Philadelphia is at home, giving Dallas 5.
Philly.
Yeah, I think so too. And maybe that's hopeful because we have to have New York and Dallas fall, although we picked the Giants against Baltimore. But anyway, the Chargers are at home, giving Denver 5.
Chargers. Denver sucks.
Yeah, I mean, how bad is it that they paid
Russell Wilson $250 million. It's insane.
Yeah. And I read an article today where they were saying how lucky the Redskins were that Denver picked him up, because the Redskins were reportedly trying to go after him, and they would have been crippled for the next 5 years.
I don't want to think about it.
So,
was that are they the night game? Oh my gosh, I'm done with Broncos being on a night game. This will be the 4th game I've watched, I think, of them. I watched them against San Francisco. I watched them against the Seahawks. I watched them against the Colts, and now I'm going to watch them against the Chargers. I'm done watching Pittsburgh games, or Denver games, rather. But, all right, who's the player we're starting with?
Derek.
Derrick Henry gave us the business.
Yep.
All right, we're only in the AFC South. We're not in the running back. We're shorter
No,
than
we're
6'3".
not in the AFC South.
That's what
We're
I
in
said,
the
right?
I thought you said we're only in the AFC South. We're not in the AFC
If
South.
I said that,
we're in the AFC.
I listened to what I meant, not what I said. We are in the AFC, though, so let's go with it's a small number in the AFC. Not a running back. It's a shorter guy, though, but a small number. Let's go with... I'm trying to think of like a short quarterback. Who's a short quarterback over there in the AFC?
No, I'm thinking wide
Russell
receiver.
Wilson. No, Russell Wilson's too old. Never mind. It's got to be under 28. Under 28. Because how tall is Derek Carr? Derek Carr, is he 6'3"? But he's also over 28, so never mind. You got Pat Mahomes. You got AFC North. You got Joe Burrow. I think he's 6'3". Lamar, I think, is 6'2". Could be Lamar. I'm going to go with Lamar. Lamar Jackson. All right. Lamar Jackson gives us some information. Not a quarterback, but we are under 6'2". Oh, shoot. I should have known it's not. It's way under 6'2". So it's 6 foot or under right now.
It's got to be a wide receiver is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, okay. So let's go with wide receiver. Okay, so let's see. Wide receiver, a short wide receiver in the AFC West or the AFC East. So West or East, a short wide receiver in one of those two. I feel like we've already done this guy once, but I'm going to put him out there again. I'm going to go with Isaiah McKenzie. All right, so we got the AFC East, and we got the receiver. You said receiver. We're not on Buffalo, so we're on the Jets. Ooh, what about Elijah Moore? Ooh, okay, we're getting close. We're not on the Jets.
Closer.
5'10". So they're either number 23 or number 24.
All right, so we're talking about...
sorry. That's either age. So they're either 23 or 24. Their number is above 8. Why do I think Elijah Moore was number 10? Oh, well.
All right, so who do we have left in the AFC East? It's Cincinnati?
Oh, what about Waddle? I think it's Jalen Waddle. Bang. Jalen Waddle. We got it. All right, let's go play hard mode. Who are we starting with?
Oh, we have to pull something out of our... You know what? No. Have we done Kyler Murray?
No, I don't think we have. Let's start with him. Why not? All right, Kyler Murray, and we're off. So we're in the AFC again. We're on defense. We're 5'11" or 6 foot. We're under 25.
It's got to be a cornerback then.
Corner is probably a good guess. Unfortunately, with Kyler Murray, we did not help us on the number at all. He's only number 1.
Yeah, that narrows it right down.
All we know is it's not 2 or 3 because it's not close to 1. So that's all we got there. So under 25. So it's either 23 or a 24-year-old, 5'11" or 5'6" on defense in the AFC. Let's go with oh shoot. I don't know why I want to do this guy specifically, and I'm going to try to do my best to remember this guy's name. He's a corner drafted by Cleveland last year. Oh my goodness. Newsome. Greg Newsome. Okay, here we go. Now we got some info. So we're on defense. We're in the AFC North, but not on Cleveland. We're 5'11".
So that's Baltimore, Pittsburgh,
or Cincy. Yep, and we're 23 or 24. 23 or 24 over the number 20. A 5'11". I guess we're looking at safety probably. Safety. Okay, let's go with who's a young safety for one of these teams. Let's do... Is Minka still 24? No, he's got to be older now. Let's go with...
What about Chuck Clark?
Chuck Clark's old, isn't he?
He was born in 95, so he's too old.
27, yeah. We're not in Baltimore, so we're either in Pittsburgh or... Oh, it's not a safety either. Interesting. So we're at linebacker now. So it's a 5'11 linebacker. Ooh,
Linebacker?
What about Devin Bush? I'm freaking good. I'm freaking good.
Hey, I steered you in the right direction.
I am a baller here. Devin Bush, baby. There you go. There, yes, the Chuck Clark for some reason helped because we got off the safety line of thinking. We went to linebacker and we went Devin Bush. And we hit. We in. But anyway, all right, another good show wrapped up in the books. I appreciate everybody who's been watching. If you haven't already, hit
thanks
the
for all
like
the
button.
Comments. Great humor out there. I love it.
We got 36 likes. I appreciate you guys who have hit the like button. Appreciate Mr.
I appreciate that because I don't even like the show.
Joe Roke for the super chat. Joe, thank you so much for the super chat. And I appreciate you guys all.
Anthony Johnson, Chase Young for JW.
Chase Young for JW.
I will never have to pull back my
your
dreads
luxurious locks. Your luxurious
spit.
Beautiful hair. I'm going for it. Look at my hair. It's horrible.
Look, and for the record, the first time Chase Young shows up on the field and sacks the quarterback, I'm going to be like, yes. So
I like Chase Young. I have no problem with Chase Young.
No, I know. He's got a lot of energy.
Yeah, and
I hope he's learned more than one move.
I'm worried about him as a player. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I appreciate you guys. And look, Abby's still playing. I appreciate it. Abby, thanks for helping. The stream sometime delay is all over the place. But I appreciate you guys. And any last words over there, J-Dubs?
Nope. Just thanks for everybody for hanging out with us. Always a lot of fun. Look forward to next week. And by the way, I predict the Redskins victory tomorrow night.
All right. I need to get you Amazon Prime so you can watch the game tomorrow.
Oh, Valerie actually has a trial, so I'm in.
Oh, okay. Remember, you can also watch it for free on Twitch.
Okay. Well, if I can't watch it...
Twitch.tv. Twitch.tv. It's because Twitch is owned by Amazon.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
But I think I'm covered with Prime tomorrow, so...
Perfect. All right,
Peace
guys.
out, everybody.
Until next time.